Hello dear students, this is your Satish Sir. Finally, after lot of students' request, it could be possible today that we are now releasing specific classes for CMA Final SCM in English. Yes, you have heard it right. This could not be possible without our students who had been continuously behind us seeking exclusive guidance for CMA, and I know we have been working hard with our CMA community to give them exclusive classes, exclusive guidance as per CMA course. Friends, as a first step towards this journey, we have released now 5 classes for CMA Final SCM in English version. I've tried my best to maintain the essence and accuracy of the teachings in English as well. However, I shall be always there behind the screen for you to assist you, to guide you, to support you, to ensure that you really get the value out of time you will invest watching these videos. For this purpose, in this video description, I've added one WhatsApp group where you should join while watching these English classes and for any kind of queries that you are facing while studying through these classes. The more the response comes, the more the active participation comes in our WhatsApp groups, the more would be the motivation for us to work ahead for further English version of our all other subjects and this full subject as well. I would be happy to assist you in your CMA journey. I and my team are eagerly waiting for you to start learning from us. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome back. Good morning. We will start, but we should also discuss and listen a little because that way our mind expands. We are not machines that we will just start working. With a fresh mind, you have to make yourself work and also be attentive in class. As soon as we wake up, life becomes a worry. It's like, oh my God, how long will this go on with me? How many years I will do this? When will this be over and I will get a degree? Right or not? Why to live in present? Let's keep cursing the problem we are currently facing. I will tell you something interesting later on. So when I will get a chance, I will share a video with all of my students. Now yesterday, a student came and he met me. Though I really wanted to record him yesterday itself, but I thought it is not the right time. He was an engineer. Okay? After that MBA. And after that, at a very high position of a very large construction company, he was the head of a department. Only some names come to mind when you think of large companies. Now, can you guess who is he? I'm not saying the name. In India, there's only few large construction companies. Okay? Why did he come, do you know? So he somewhere felt that the career of his, since the time he started, so from that time till now, it has grown. But you see, he had an aspiration. He wanted to be elected to the company's board. Get into the board with directors. So, what are the possible paths to reach to the board of directors? He was told that the first and easiest method could be flattery. Right? If you are, let's say, working somewhere and you are working there at a good senior position. So you are a country's head or you are head of a very large project and now you want to join board. So how many ways are available to reach there? One way could be being a flatterer, bootlicking, by pleasing your superiors. Or the other way could be your own credibility. Okay? So he said to me that, sir, there are a big number of people in my company. Those who rely on the path of flattering seniors. The theory is pleasing others. Okay? But he said that I am not that kind of a person. And that is why I decided that on the basis of my credibility, I will achieve this. Okay? So later on he researched that the people who are there on the board, what are their profiles? So assessment was done. And it was noted that what is the profile of the people on the board. So I got to know that most of the board members, they were either CA or CMA. or they are the owners of the company itself. He is not the owner, so that route is cancelled. In spite of having an engineering degree, which is the most popular science degree, in spite of having an MBA, which is one of the very popular commerce degrees, he felt that without the CA and CMA, without these, I won't be able to enter into the board. I asked again, so you will get a degree and then you will join the board? Is it like a ticket to get into the board? No. When students are studying, they might be studying like, what is your age? 23? So that person's son's age is 21 years. So he was at the age of your father, in a way. He said that when a child is studying, so for that child, the point is just to get a degree. But to me, even if I just get a degree, my value would still be zero. Because I will have to confront to these existing board of directors. I will have to stand in front of them face to face. I will have to prove myself there. That I believe I am worthy of it, not just because of my degree, but because I am able to think critically, give suggestions, and speak thoughtfully. Basically, the terminologies of your subject and the sections of tax and GST. I want to be able to think like that. Because of it, I realized that I don't just need a degree. I have to understand it thoroughly and I have to showcase it. Right now, you students must be thinking, it's just a degree. Let's take classes and do assignments. Later, we'll think of studying when exams will come. We'll write whatever is asked in the exam. Now, even he will do this. But he is also interested or passionate about being in the board because his requirement is of growth. Tomorrow, when he will talk to the board members. So those discussions should be of their level. It shouldn't seem like this guy, he just took the degree for the name's sake. And then a point was raised that CA and CMA cannot be done together because it is challenging. So he chose the CMA. Yesterday I told you about this. Right? I was telling you the value of CA and CMA. I even told you this in the morning. I said, according to my anticipation today, the degree which is more valuable than CA, that degree is of CMA. Okay, let us leave this aside, that which degree is more popular or say famous. When we initially joined the institute, many teachers were famous here. It doesn't really matter that who is more famous or who is less popular. It's the value that matters. I felt that the value of what I was teaching was much higher if compared with famous teachers. I used to have a zeal. You can call it a zeal of hard work. I knew that I will surpass today or tomorrow. Don't go by the fact who is famous. Go with one that has more value. Okay? Therefore, he went for CMA. I asked him, why didn't you choose CA? He said, I analyzed something. Now I may be wrong here. Now further, he said, I reviewed the syllabus in detail for the CA and CMA, and I felt like CA is more focused on auditing. In it, there's just audit going on. And I don't wish to be an auditor in my career. When you are studying for CA, in fact, I would say, show this to your friends or people doing CA. Now I have analyzed new syllabus of CA. The current new syllabus that we have, it has its entire focus on you becoming an auditor. To make you become a strategic thinker is not the focus here. Okay, so now they have focused the most on financial reporting, audit and law. Actually, law has been removed. Financial reporting and auditing and a bit of financial management. These topics are under focus. So main subject of you guys, which is cost. Now this cost is something. It is something that can never go away. It cannot die. Because let's say if the economy is running, or let's say that you are helping someone by working very hard. If some favor is taken, then something will be given back, right? The exchange will obviously take place. Free economy is not possible in the world. Free economy means like the jungle. It is a free economy. It's like take and eat whatever comes to the hand. That is free economy. But what is our human economy? It is civilized economy where exchange takes place. So cost can never die. So let us say that audit and law. All of these can have a natural termination in future, and it's because over the time, imagine 10 to 15 years from now. Yes, it will take us 10 years to realize our true worth. Because if you will look, you are starting your journey. You will get the degree. Then you will prove yourself to people about your caliber. It's a 10 years journey. But audit and the law, in the next 10 years, it will become like the need for that will be very less. Everything will be machine learning, bots. Like chatbots are there, same way some bots are there. There are programs that automatically checks a lot of things. There will be software that will find the errors and show them to you. What error is in your account system, what error is in your bank system or income tax. So accordingly, it will all sync and it will then become return. Use of manpower will reduce. Now what will a man do? Because you see, a man's job is to think. Now the machine can't think that much, right? It can only give recommendations. Like when you go on YouTube, it shows you recommended videos, right? It's because it is a machine. No man is showing you that. The machine is recommending. The recommendation can be done by the machine and it is going to be based on your likes and trends. Okay, so it is based on the program it includes. But the machine cannot decide whether you actually need to watch the recommended videos or not. That's your decision. It's showing recommendations, but whether you want to see them, whether you want to click them, it's your choice. So man is the one who thinks and machine is the one that does it. So all these tasks which they had to do, according to them, they will be done by the machine. So I don't see any good enough scope in this, where a man will be required. And now this CA course is focusing on that. I think CMA is a course that, somewhere or the other, forces you to think strategically and also critically. Such a type of new terminologies have come up today. Such things, whose words don't make sense. It's only when you study a CA subject. The way things are going here, I just don't understand it. CMA, I strongly feel, and also this is my research, that this course can teach you to think strategically and it can teach you cost calculation. Because you see any action strategically taken by a man. So those action has their cost benefit impact on a man. That what are advantages and disadvantages of that strategy. So all of that you can learn it through this cost here. And that is why I have chosen this, which is called cost accounting degree. So Inter I have already passed. The pandemic became a blessing for me because the office pressure decreased. I've passed Inter and now I'm studying final. So I said, now all of you keep saying that. How do we study with our office work side by side? How do we adjust? That's your problem, right? Now, have you been given any such responsibilities in your office that the office won't run without you? Is it so? Office won't run without you? Is it? Entire office will shut down? The whole office? It's over expectation. You just yourself feel this, but get out of this mentality. It seems we are the only ones working. So are the other employees gardening? You're wrong. You are doing a specific task. The whole office will not shut down because of you. Gate key? Very good. Someone will have another pair of keys. So you see, this is a trick, So what happens is, like the interns everywhere, they are basically more naughty. They have mischievous intentions, and because of that, it seems to keep them busy. This is a trick that employers use on intern. They will hand over the keys, and because of this, what will happen is that he will have to come on time. In short, whatever be the case. We are not talking about opening an office, we are talking about running an office. So in their case, you see, he is basically the head of a country. He is the head of a very big department, where the single point of contact is him. Okay, so if he says that, for example, if he won't go to office, also is from Dhaka, from Bangladesh. And in Bangladesh, Fridays are off. Sundays are off in India. So this is India. So what happens now with him, you see? It is Sunday in India, but it is a working day in Bangladesh. In a way, it's a Sunday holiday. It's Friday off in Bangladesh, but he can't take day off because India office is running. The India office is working, so in a way, he is working 7 days. If something like this happens to you, you would get a headache. Think about him. He has a family, and on top of that, there are studies. What to do? So how did he manage? He said, "Sir, I brought a transformation in myself." He was a staunch follower of Swami Vivekananda. And he enlightened me with Vivekananda's words. And he said, "Sir, I analyzed my entire day. Normally, my office starts at 10 to 10:30 a.m., okay? And my work is usually finished by 6 or 7 p.m. maximum. It finishes till 7 p.m. Then, normally in corporate life, usually parties hit the floor. Either someone will come to please you or you will go to someone to please them. Even after coming home, you are chatting, watching TV and relaxing. Right? Second, he said to me that when we go to Bangladesh, so we have to travel a lot, which means, sir, we spend or say waste a lot of time in traffic. If we have to reach the office at 10, so we have to leave at 8. And if we leave for home at 6, then around 7 p.m. or say around 8 p.m. So every day it takes us around 1 hour to 2 hours to reach home. It takes us 2 hours to go anywhere. There's so much traffic. So first I have transformed my daily routine. Now I go home and sleep till 8 or 9 p.m. Because after 8 or 9 p.m. when you go home, if you analyze, then what do you or a normal person do? Is there productivity? I mean, this is the case if you are not studying. So you might just be relaxing. Or you are using your mobile phone for chatting or watching the television. That's all you do. Right? So he sleeps at 8 or 9 and gets up at 3 a.m. and studies from 3:30 a.m. If a person sleeps at 8, they can wake up at 3, 6, 7 hours is enough. Even if you go to bed at 12 a.m., you wake up at 6 or 7, it's the same routine. You can't sleep more than that. I start studying at 3:30 a.m. I mean around 3:30 or say 4 o'clock I start studying. So starting from 4 or 3, my rule is I will study for at least 6 hours anyhow. I study until 9 in the morning and I study hard. So like this, even though you see I have a job, which is a full day job, my studies are totally and absolutely under my control. And during those 6 hours, the productivity and the mind gets very high. Right? Now you see, if initially you are facing difficulty to get into routine, like you'll feel sleepy, it will be difficult, but later on you will be able to study 9 hours worth in those 6 hours because mind is very fresh. You'll understand quick. You won't be able to realize that you are studying and managing such a big office. I've been doing this for the past years. Following this process, I cleared my Inter. Now you students are free the whole day, but not everyone is that lucky. You still have complaints, but he was looking after his studies, family and office simultaneously. Therefore, just a vision or say determination is enough. And if I have to leave for the office at 8, okay? Not everyone might do this, but he said something interesting like, I have a driver and a car. A big cushion was put on the back seat. I mean, nowadays in cars, the trunk opens and the back seat just folds like this. So the seat was folded and cushion pillow was added. Now as soon as I get in the car, it's my revision time. I am revising what I studied. I need to make sure I remember it because I am not just studying for the degree, but I need to study this for work. I have to talk in this language. Otherwise, how will people know I have knowledge? No one will first look at my degree because that comes later. And doing this, I have memorized all the sections and subsections by heart. He said in my office. For example, I am the head of the marketing. Someone from taxation came to office. Now couple of sections which he didn't know about, I knew. And with this he got stunned, thinking what kind of a marketing guy is he? He said, sir, recently there has been talks of me being promoted to a higher level. Because there were things which they didn't know, but I knew those because I'm studying. He's an old CA, he doesn't have much of an idea, right? He hasn't updated himself with information. So I'm helping him where he's getting stuck. And those 2 hours as well I am using in the same way. So in my car, I've set everything up, the pillow, the mattress, everything. The world can think whatever. I just go and lie down comfortably. I sit with my legs spread out and I just study there unbothered. Those 2 hours also becomes productive. And office work I start from 10 a.m. So you see, you are just listening to this, but how it must be feeling to me when he was sitting in front of me and telling me about it. Talking to him was making me question, how is he managing himself? Remember, you have to learn to struggle for new things in life, okay? You can't always make excuses. Why can't you do that? Don't make a list of it. Don't justify it. Think about how will you do it. So I even invited him to come this morning. Please meet some of our students here. Students, they just messaged me saying, sir, I am unable to come here. I have a really urgent meeting. He said, okay, no problem. We will connect sometime later for sure. Okay? So I'm trying to explain to you kids that you shouldn't think that the value of what you're doing has diminished. Okay? And secondly, you all should also think that you are not studying just to get famous. You just simply attended the class. You can't just sit back and say, the story's over. You cannot do this. You should thoroughly know what you are studying. People should feel you are doing different. Something really different is happening with him. Now after attending the class, you won't talk to anyone. You won't tell anyone about it. Right? Whole thing is gone. Let's go. We are saying that we were working, then we felt that we should stop working and we should talk to them first. This happened. Value is too much. Even students who have passed one group of CMA has a package of 17 lakhs. This isn't new. It wasn't last year's case. This has happened many times. Okay, you will get to see videos of those students on our YouTube. They give one group at a time. Your value is there. What happens is, most of the senior people sitting in big or even small organizations, all of them became seniors, but they are tired. The new system and new schemes which are brought in the education system, they all are unable to handle all of that. They cannot study about new changes. So what every large and every reputed organization is doing, they are hiring people, young people. There are two types of young people. One is experienced between 30 to 35 years, and then some are young like you. Okay, so some organizations have very good training programs. So those companies who have a good training system will pick someone like you. They can teach him the work, but the person should be dynamic and knowledgeable. Some organizations don't have training program. So those companies know that they don't have that much training. So they will pick and hire people who are 35 to 40 years old because they have learned things with their experience. And so it means I will tell you that nowadays what happens is people who are appointed on board are looking for young people to join the company. It is not like you will directly enter the board. That won't happen. What I am trying to tell you is the journey to success is not very long. It's not that bad where people spend their whole lives. Your journey may be very short. Once you have a CMA degree with you, you should understand that those who don't have it with them, you will be 5 years ahead of them. As soon as you get the CMA degree, you took 5 years leap. Let's say you have a friend. Now compare him to someone who is not pursuing CMA or any other such degree. Non-CMA means non-professional friends. He is doing BCom, he is not in business, he is working. And you are doing CMA, BCom plus CMA or whatever you are doing, it can be BSc or any other degree plus CMA. You can check the daily routine of these people. Please do check it if you ever get a chance. Whether it's a girl or a boy, you have to check it and find out their routine. And when you see your own routine, you will know how much you are doing and where do you stand in the competition. Stop thinking about what will happen. Start thinking about what will happen if I do it now. So the package that will be charged here for this person, your package will be 5x. So isn't it right to work hard and become 5 times better than ourselves? Think like this. So in this way, you should achieve this value. So you have to work hard for it. So if you want to be better, you will have to work harder than you usually do, because it's said that practice makes a man perfect. Okay, students, let's move ahead. See, all these things are very important to keep you on track so that you don't deviate, okay? Otherwise, you will think, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I will always try to tell you such stories in between every period. Is that okay? If possible, I will bring a student who has cleared. You have to stay charged up. You have to do these things. If that is clear, then it will be easier to do the rest. Okay, great. Let's continue. Yesterday, we were learning basics of decision making. Is that right? Okay, so we learned about the types of decisions in decision making. Then we discussed the meaning of cost. Cost can be considered as outflow or opportunity cost. Then in process of decision making framework, setting goal and finding alternatives are very important. We need to do evaluation of the alternatives, which is our main focus. Then our focus is on selection, then implementation and monitoring, which need majority of practice. Okay. Today we will start a topic. So now give heading on new page, relevant costing. Relevant costing. Okay. Write down the first point, applicability. Number 1. In applicability, you write number 1. One time offer. Number 2. So number 2 is customized orders customer. Went bankrupt. In number 3, There's surplus capacity for a limited period, meaning vacant space is available. What to do with it? We have this. The matter is, we don't conduct live classes throughout the day here. Vacant space is there, it's surplus capacity. Once a doctor visited me. Then he told me that they are teaching medical students. Is it possible to take classes here on the weekends? Yes. I agreed. When he asked about the charges, I said pay whatever you can. But if we do cost analysis, how will we do costing? First, we need to calculate total overheads. Then we will divide it by the maximum hours. Here, we need to figure out the amount of hours for which we can operate. What's cost incurred per hour? In this cost per hour, what will we do? We will divide it area-wise. Which area is taken? Cost per hour is for whole premises. Then we will divide it area-wise. Take it classroom-wise. We get the cost of area 1, area 2 and area 3. Profit will be added to it. The price depends on whether it's 20, 30, 40 or 50%, and it will be very messy. What were they told? We said, hold on, let us get the calculator and calculate it. And next statement, cost sheet. But instead we said, take it. Doctor asked for its cost. We said, give whatever you can afford. Is this wrong or right? This was relevant. Costing. It is based on this principle. There is some calculation behind this. What will be extra expenses incurred due to this? I will be paying electricity bill. How much will be the electricity bill for one class per day? 100 to 500 rupees? Can't be more. From such a big doctor, is it even fitting to ask for 500 rupees? He won't need it every day. We studied surplus capacity for the limited period. Give it to the doctor, no problem. But there's one condition. He can have it. There's no problem in that. But we won't commit to giving this place to you for forever. Why we did this? Because when talking about forever, costing is done. And after costing, you'll find it to be very expensive. We are not doing it for him now, though it is done normally. Because I have surplus capacity, I'm fine with whatever is obtained. At least I'm not spending. The doctor needed someone to work on weekends. I said there's a man among us. Let's contact him. Okay? And you pay him whatever you can from your own pocket. Did I spend? No. If I have to pay separately. Or I incurred an extra expense. Helping will be inconvenient. So I asked doctor to pay. My man. Both of you can negotiate the payment amongst yourselves. Call him on his time off. It will be like an extra overtime. He will be happy to work for some extra income. It's not my load. If I take the load, I will do my costing. The costing that we do is called traditional costing. And that is not used in decision making. Okay? Why go through so much inconvenience just for helping someone once? So no costing here. The kind of costing we traditionally do and have learnt about is done for the regular businesses. I will have to do the costing because I take class for CMA Final. That will be its costing. You would ask to brush over it instead of doing thoroughly. This can be done. It's the main topic. Everything starts here. It gets asked in the exams, okay? But is there any program on either of the side to utilize the surplus capacity? Whatever comes. Lessons burden. Are you getting it? This is how you think. We are giving you the thought process. You don't just have to do the rote learning, but also think in this way, right? All this is psychological. It's how you have to think. Here we have got a very old accumulated inventory. What's to be done? Sales are low. All of us have seen items on sales, right? Bumper sale. It happens that a certain item which costed rupees 100 normally is being sold for 30 rupees. Such difference, one wonders whether it was overpriced. But it's not. The item could be priced at rupees 50 or rupees 60 as well. But the seller realized that if they don't sell it now, then this 60 will become 0 too. 100 charged for 60? But the seller soon realized that if that item is not sold soon enough, that 60 will also become 0. Not even 1 rupee. So he sold item for 30 rupees. Have you ever seen displays of stock clearance? Have you ever felt while looking at one of those that they ripped their customers earlier? Now during the stock clearance, it is being called a bumper offer with up to 70% off. It means that when something is normally sold at a price of rupees 100, did the seller profited from such a large margin and gave a 70% discount? That's not how it works. It's sold at loss. Okay, they got this feeling that if we don't sell this right now, we will be done. Big Bazaar has this kind of sale every year. And many things are available at such a low price. That will shock you. My mom went there after seeing an ad on newspaper about Big Bazaar sale. Every newspaper lists the price of everything. Ever noticed it? You have not? It's fine. In case I see one while teaching you, I will show that to you. Ladies go completely crazy after seeing them. Oh my god, what an amazing offer. Let's go. Everyone form their groups and go for shopping. And then instead of taking one thing, they will take 10. When my mother went there, she brought 2 full cartons of cold drink home. Each bottle was 2 liters, 6 bottles per carton. There were total 12. I asked, is there a party? Did you invite anyone? Mother said, there's no party. Then why so many bottles? It's only for half price. But still 12 bottles. She said it was too cheap. I said, do we drink cold drinks? She said, yes, what's the problem? I was like, okay then. But it didn't sit well with me. I picked up a bottle and read its label and found out that it was expiring the next week. It expired next week. This was the Big Bazaar's policy. They knew the products were expiring next week, but they would just say, cold drinks are on sale. Off on cold drinks is nowhere. The expiry date was written on it. I called my mother and showed it. What to do now after seeing this? My temper rose by many degrees. Mom didn't care. We will finish it anyhow. What do you mean? Mom said, tomorrow we will stand outside the building with a table and distribute it to passers-by. It's summer. We will finish it quickly. Don't worry. I said, wow, this is a very incredible idea, Mom. I said that ultimately money has been wasted, right? You thought we will drink. Became greedy. And you bought 12 bottles thinking they will last for whole year. You will distribute it to the passers-by. They will drink it and move on. But your money has been wasted. I am explaining same. For accumulated inventory, normal costing doesn't work. The costing you learned doesn't work and used. Understood? Have you noted down this point about it? Let's go. And there could be many more situations. But I am limiting the discussion to one point. I don't have to include situations from around the world. This is not an exhaustive list. I have given you these ideas as starting point. For examples, by knowing them, you will get a framework. Okay? Let's move on to the second scenario, point 2. For this, I am giving you an example. Look at it and tell me after thinking carefully that what should be its answer. Fine? What is your name? Prashant? Let's assume. Prashant, where do you put up in Kolkata? Its hometown? Asansol? Let's say that, for example, Prashant is from Asansol. Now this Asansol is near Kolkata. It is 4 hours away. If you guys ever decide to go there, go via road. You'll have a lot of fun. I have been there. Did you meet me? In Asansol? So there was a place called Shivgarh. It comes on the way to Asansol. So you should stop there. There are so many sweets shops there selling different kinds of sweets. No, it is Shaktigarh and not Shivgarh. Sorry. It's Shaktigarh. Oh Lord, what delicious sweets do they sell? There's a Bengali sweet called lamcha. Okay. Ever tried it? If you haven't eaten Shaktigarh's lamcha even once in life, it's like you didn't eat. It's amazing. And it is made in huge sizes. It is too large. It's like eating hot dog. You won't be able to differentiate. Anyways, let's say there is a shop owned by Prashant in Asansol, okay? Shop. Prashant went away for studies and left it. Shop is named after him. So now Prashant comes up with a plan for this shop. There is no cost for the ownership of this particular shop of Prashant. He got it in heritage. Its ownership was passed to him. Clear? His father gave it and left Prashant with responsibility of managing this shop. Prashant is thinking about the expenses of running this shop in this way. It means there is no cost of ownership and no purchase cost is involved. There are no EMIs. It was found that Prashant incurs a tax. So there is an annual municipal tax. This can also be called property tax. That is 5,000 rupees per year. Only. Okay. Prashant is thinking. He has two options. While making decisions, what is the first thing to do? It is to find alternative uses. Prashant went ahead to find its two alternative uses. Okay. He has two ways. Path number one is to open his own business. He will start and run his own business. What kind of business? Flower shop's business. Florist. Flower shop. After researching, he found that there are not good flower shops in Asansol, but people need flowers. This business is good, and along with this he had a bit of idea. He figured out that the sales revenue in 1 year can be made 10 lakhs. But you will also have to procure the flowers. His cost of goods sold, and there will be some florist as well, or let's say any gardener. He will make bouquet and decorate it. All the salaries, bills, everything is included in cost of goods sold. The cost which will be incurred due to owning the business in future. As of now it is nil, but it will be incurred later with the business. In the coming year, the cost altogether will be 7 lakh rupees. Okay? Now, the second alternative available to Mr. Prashant would be to consider renting out this particular shop, right? That's called leasing out, means you give it on lease. He said, we don't want to do all this work. We'll just go to Kolkata to study and rent out the shop. Okay? So he found out that one of his friends is ready to take on rent for his business. According to the rent, he will have a monthly rental income of 18,000 rupees. Okay, he will get 18,000 rupees per month for the shop. In both the cases, Mr. Prashant has to pay the municipal tax. In both cases, the friend said you only pay the remaining municipal taxes. We don't want to deal with this. Okay. Even in own business you have to pay, but this is not included. This is excluding municipal tax. Okay, so you guys can write it down. This is like case study. Okay. Now you draw it. And then tell me, after thinking about it, what should Mr. Prashant do with this shop? Try to explain it with some calculations. Don't just explain verbally. Explain by writing. There is a very obvious calculation in this. Right? This was not a difficult decision to make, but it was a decision-making situation. Am I right? What is the challenge in real world? It is figuring out that how much will it cost? What will be the revenue? When you know the expense, then deducting that is not a big deal. In the real world, when we will make the decision, we don't know what might happen. We cannot ascertain because it's all in the future. Prashant is standing here. He is standing here and he does not know what is to be done. He has estimated this revenue and estimated the cost he will incur. And estimated rental income. So where is the problem? That Mr. Prashant does not know. He can't seem to find out what could be the estimate. This is the biggest problem. But once that estimation is done, then decision making is very easy. You'll face this types of challenge in the real world and you won't find it in books. Everything is given in the question in exams. Okay, let's solve this as we have these figures. What is the next step? So to do its calculation. This is one way and we call this total cost approach. You do that along with me. So in this approach, we will calculate the net income in the total cost approach by considering all costs given in the scenario. So what is to be done here? We will consider all cost which is given in the scenario. We will consider all the costs that are given in the scenario. Got my point? So what does consider all costs given in the scenario mean? For example, you have option number 1, that you will open your own store. And the option number 2 is that you will give it on lease. So we are creating a format. And in this format, we will consider all the costs given in the scenario. For example, the sales revenue was given here. Your sales revenue is 10 lakhs. And on the other hand, rental income is given here in the lease option. And I had told you that it is for 1 year. You must remember, this is given for 1 year. You can write here per annum. Mention per annum. So what will be the lease amount on multiplying 18,000 with 12? 2 lakhs. 16,000. Minus cost of goods sold. Here 7 lakhs and here cost of goods sold is nil. And one is municipal tax. The municipal tax is 5,000 per annum. It is 5,000 per annum. Not per month. It was per annum. 5,000 and it is same. So this gives you net income amount. Here it is 2,95,000. And this is 2,11,000. So there is a clear decision and we can easily determine which option is better. Therefore, option number 1, right? As the income is more, right? Tell me only from a financial or money perspective. From a purely financial perspective, I know your point is correct. As we have involved Prashant, he is thinking in a different way. You are right about that. We'll come to it, but right now think about the finance. So here, what are the options? So option 1 is better and it is financially viable. Okay. Now what is bothering Prashant here? Look, now it is clear. You know, this is like a complete business mindset. Prashant said that, look, I worked hard for all year around. Okay. And earned 2,95,000 by working so hard. And he did not do anything at all. If we get to 11,000 by investing for 12 months, he feels that is much better. So here he is considering qualitative factor, the strategic factor I had taught you yesterday. He is thinking according to that strategies. When I am free the whole year, I can do anything in that whole year. Right? The underlying assumption behind this. Let's suppose that we haven't considered that point yet. This means there was an assumption. It was. When Prashant will eventually rent out his shop and he does not have any alternative source of income. So in that case, he will be sitting idle. Those who don't do anything, they will think that rent of 2,11,000 is easy income. Why should I work hard? I will live relaxed life with this rental income. But realistically, if you are working hard all day for the whole year and earning only 2,95,000, the benefit here is that 2,95,000 will be saved. Because you will be busy running the shop, so you will have less time to spend. This means you will spend less and money will be saved. And here what will happen if you are sitting idle all day, then the money that will come will be spent. Right? You will spend all the money in all the luxuries like alcohol and doing parties. Because on sitting idle, you will spend the money. But please keep this in mind. This is an assumption which we are making here. We are assuming that Prashant has no other job once he will give it on the lease. But if Prashant can earn more and can pursue his further education outside by renting out his shop, certainly that is more viable. But we didn't give you that scenario. So there's one thing you should remember. Look, students, whatever concepts are given in your syllabus, as of today, it is advised to draw a conclusion by focusing on what is given. Okay, so you should never ever preach a situation and presume things about a question. You should avoid doing this. Share whatever you are thinking in comments, only if they ask for it. Only write these thoughts if it will be asked in the question that comment on. Other factors, before reaching on any conclusion, then write it. That in this case, for instance, if Prashant has got any other opportunities, after leasing out his shop to increase his income, he may find another job or he may establish some another store. He can also invest his time on education. In that case, option 2 might be more viable. This will be written in the comment only when asked in the question. You will not write on your own. You are allowed to think from your perspective. You cannot write an exam. Okay? So we definitely need to fulfill the requirement of exam. That is why we are telling you to think this way. We will call this thought, this another perspective, the total cost approach. Okay? Now one more thing. In this scenario, if we had to speed up the work a little bit. So if we only need to decide whether the store is better or the lease is better. In that case, you have to ignore that 5,000 and you have to find the net income. Ignore 5,000. The net income is coming 3 lakh rupees. 2,16,000. Excess amount is 84. And how much extra here? 84. So we will opt where we get extra 84. We will choose first option, right? You understood that the 5,000 can be ignored and still be considered. In first option, we consider all the costs. But now I am saying that you would have reached the same decision. If you had ignored 5,000, so you will want to make a decision quickly, right? The decision should be made without delay. Otherwise, what will happen? Its value will be lost. Else you will be stuck in analyzing. So we can indeed ignore some costs to make a decision quickly without any delay. We can ignore. Okay, a cost which we can ignore for making decision, that is called an irrelevant cost. And the cost that must be considered, otherwise the decision will be affected wrongly, that is called the relevant cost. So I have not yet explained here in this option what is relevant and irrelevant, but gave you the idea that if you will think keeping 5,000 aside, the decision is same. Did it affect the decision? Not at all. Is this clear? Right, one more line here. The additional income due to opening their own stores is rupees 295 minus 2,11,000. That means 84,000. Is this clear? Number 2. Next is the second approach, which is called incremental approach. The second approach is called the incremental approach, right? Let's move ahead. What is the incremental approach? What does it say? We will derive it from total approach. Keep the total approach in mind. Don't write down, just keep that approach in your mind. After that, now think as if you are in the middle of thinking about it. You have decided to open a store, right? Or you can also firmly decide this, that I will only rent it out. Consider any one options of the two. Okay. Let's first visualize about opening a store. Think about this for a moment. Let's visualize in our minds what will happen if we will open one store. We have kept both options. So total approach says find the net income of both. Both were executed together, but we are saying don't focus on both, just focus on only one option. Just imagine that you are opening one store. Now, if I open the store, so then I'm thinking that because of opening the store, what will be the incremental revenue, right? Incremental means extra compared to other option, which is renting it. Okay. In comparison with renting it, what will be the extra revenue on opening the store? Keep the total approach in your mind and the revenue for both. So what will be the additional revenue on opening the store? 10 lakh minus 2 lakh 16,000. Extra revenue will be 10 lakhs minus 2 lakh 16,000. It will be 2 lakh 16 on revenue side. Okay. So what will be the extra cost of goods sold? It will be 7 lakhs. What will be the extra municipal tax? It will be nothing. Okay. So whatever difference we will get, it will be called as extra income. So you should focus on finding the extra income of any of the one option. Consider any one option and calculate its extra income. So what is an incremental approach? It is always option 1 minus option 2. Or else you can also do option 1 subtracted from option 2. If we are doing option 1 minus option 2. Let's say we calculated option 1. If option 1 is subtracted from option 2, let's say option 2 is evaluated. If option 2 is evaluated, okay, and here the incremental approach asks to find out what is the incremental income which will be generated from an option. So I am repeating it again. The approach says find incremental income of an option. Right? The approach is mentioning about finding the incremental income of an option. Find the incremental income generated from an option. Did you get it? Clear? So first thing here is to find the incremental income of an option. And then the second thing is the costs that are irrelevant and will have what? They will have zero incremental value. The irrelevant cost here, what will be its incremental value? 0. The irrelevant cost will become 0 itself. The costs that are irrelevant, they will have 0 incremental value, right? And it will be identified automatically. So there is no need to do anything yourself. Okay, they will be identified automatically. Clear? Like the municipal tax are 0. The one becoming 0 is irrelevant. When you will take the difference, right? Let me explain. It means while taking the difference, then it will become 0 itself. When taking the difference, the irrelevant cost will become 0. The costs that are of no use and are irrelevant, they will have nil or 0 incremental value. And these irrelevant costs will be identified easily while taking the difference. Okay? And if that incremental income is positive value, then accept the proposal. If the incremental income is positive, then accept it or else reject it. If the incremental income is a positive value, then we will accept the proposal. So you guys can write these points down. If the incremental is positive, accept the proposal. Clear? Now we will do all the calculations accordingly. Statement showing incremental income from, okay, let's suppose here something, own shop, option. Statement showing incremental income from own shop option. Okay. Sir, why are we making these statements and all? Do we need them? We need them for revision. It is needed for revising. It's not mandatory yet for the exam, either make it or not. If the answer is correct, in exam you get marks. So what is coming as the incremental revenue? Only revenue. It should be created item by item. Simply subtracting from the net will not be enough. Incremental revenue is 10 lakhs minus 2 lakhs 16,000. See, now you're understanding it better. So start solving it a little on your own. Don't just note it. If you have understood, then you should increase your speed and try to solve the questions yourself and refer if needed. Don't just copy. We have found incremental revenue, so now subtract the incremental cost of goods sold. Then subtract the incremental municipal tax. We will get the net incremental income. You see, the same value should come that we have calculated above. 10 lakh minus 2 lakh. 16,000. 784. Incremental cost of goods sold 7 lakh. The incremental cost of municipal taxes is 0. 5,000 minus same. So the net value is 84,000. Okay, and this is a positive value. So after calculation, the value of incremental income from the own shop is positive. Let us write it down here as incremental income from our own shop is positive. Okay. The incremental income from our own shop is positive, so then it should be preferred over the other comparative option we have calculated. So here the option in comparison is lease option. So the incremental income from our own shop, this should be preferred over the lease option. One advantage of this approach is that it is most used in your syllabus. This is the approach that is most used throughout the syllabus. But we don't create the incremental by creating the total. It's not like that. We have to keep the total in mind and then keep the calculated incremental value in mind. Okay, you won't find the total and then the incremental value in exam. Clear? This approach will be used most in the entire syllabus. Did you understand it? If there is decision making, it will be incremental. But now let me tell you that this option, this system has one disadvantage. This incremental approach has one major problem. Do you know that? Any idea? Did you get it? You guys didn't think about it. You were just writing down the theory. Then you were thinking about something. Isn't it? You were busy? I am certain. This approach has one problem, a limitation. It's very easy. If you will slightly put pressure on your minds, you will remember it. What is the process of incremental? One option is being compared to another option here, right? So what is its limitation? Students studying online, can you tell? It is very easy. Suppose if there are more than 2 options given, or if 3 options, maybe 4, maybe 5, how to calculate the incremental? Then will we do option 1 minus 2, 1 minus 3, 1 minus 4? It will be tough. Are you getting? So the limitation is it becomes very calculative. If there are more than 2 options. Is it clear? Why do I have to tell everything? Why don't you figure out yourself? You know, there's one reason for that. Old patterns. Okay, the way you studied in school in childhood. You still study that way. It means you are only listening to what the professor is saying, but the presence of mind is 0. This is old pattern. You are listening to what I am saying, but your presence of mind is somewhere else, busy in some thinkings or maybe resting. One case may be something is going on in your mind. There is something. Introspect about your mind and presence. What is that? When I give you time to understand, then your mind starts wandering. Maybe your subconscious thoughts take over your mind. He is silent. Another case is that subconsciously you are constantly thinking about this concept. Like this is about it. Okay. Your mind is thinking about the concept and subconsciously cross-questioning this concept. If this had been the case, then what would have happened? Thinking there are two options. If there were three, then when you do a cross-question related to topic, so gradually you will also start understanding the concept while I am writing something. You will see that you will start to get the answer to the questions that you have never even asked before. You will also not understand how did you get it, but you have the answer. That will only be possible if you stay on topic. You have to tell yourself, concentrate, don't think about anything else right now. Keep focus. And leave everything else for now. You have to train yourself. You have to talk to yourself. That think about only the concept which is being taught in the class. Now he might start thinking that florist Prashant is selling flower in the shops. This will not work. This is about related things. It's about cross questions. What else could there be in the topic of decision making which we are learning? Then it will help you. So the incremental approach is clear to you. Now the interesting thing is you can also do option 2 minus 1. If you do 2 minus 1, do you know what the answer will be? It will be 216 minus 10 lakhs. So the revenue will be minus 7 like 84,000. If we reverse it, we will need to write negative 784 here. But because of that 7 lakh rupees was saved, we will get savings in cost. It will be a positive. My cost is anyways 0 and the cost is 7 lakh rupees there. So 0 minus 7 lakh means it will be minus 7 lakh, right? And now I am subtracting the cost from this revenue here. The cost is in negative, it will become positive. This will become 0. So it will become minus 84 here. Just write it roughly. If we had done option 2 minus option 1, then it would look like this. Just note this down roughly. You don't need to write it properly. Just for reference that if we had done option 2 minus 1. So minus 7 like 84,000 had come first and then plus 7 lakhs. So what happens is if you're giving an exam and your friend is also giving the exam. Your friend did 1 minus 2, you did 2 minus 1. So you guys started arguing who is correct. Both should get the same answer. His will be positive, your will be negative. One will be plus 84, the other will be minus 84. Be it anyways. Okay. The presentation can be made from any option. The decision will be the same. So this approach is one of the most appropriate approach. And I have already told you that. But what is the problem here? That you will get confused in case you will have more than 2 options given. So our objective in this chapter is that we teach the third approach in detail. This is our goal. However, what happens next will be based on the second approach. You already know the first approach, so there's no need to teach it. Now third approach. The third approach is called opportunity cost approach. Or you can also call it with the other name relevant cost approach. Opportunity cost approach, and one is the relevant cost approach. It has 2 names. Okay. This approach is a concept says that first learn about what is the advantage of this approach. You can give it any number of options. It will be easy to find. But learn the concept. And that concept's name is this chapter's name for which we created this chapter. The concept requires to manually remove or eliminate all the irrelevant cost. It is saying to leave out the irrelevant cost. Now, if you will make any mistake in this, like by mistake you left a cost which is relevant, it will be wrong. Take everything in total. Irrelevant costs are removed in incremental. It became 0. What did I say? It will be removed from irrelevant. It will be automatically identified in the incremental approach, right? But there is one problem. You will have to identify them as irrelevant, and you will have to manually eliminate irrelevant costs. Now the question is which cost is irrelevant. Now you will determine which cost is irrelevant depending on the scenario given to you in that particular question. as per the situation today and as per the situations which might change tomorrow. After continuously studying these concepts, now we have find out a solution. If we will be keeping this in our mind, then we will be able to easily identify which one is irrelevant. Okay. That solution is very simple. And this solution is generally not found in the books. We have found it with the analysis we have done over the time. If you will keep this in mind, you will always be able to find the irrelevant cost, no matter by what name that irrelevant cost is given in the question. Like in this question, it is municipal tax. It is irrelevant cost in this scenario. It will be with different name in other question. Okay. So you don't know by what name it will be given. Okay, still you will have to identify it. We will need to recognize it in every question without knowing its name. But you need to know how to take the correct one. Okay. So let's see what is the logic behind it and what is the technique. That now if you will take a look at any cost given in the question. So no matter whatever the options may be given to you in the question, option A, B, C, D, E, there are some costs that will remain the same. Whether you choose option A or B or C or D or E, it will remain the same. The cost will remain same whether it is option A, option B or option C, option D or option E in whatever number of options that is given to you. Is it clear? No matter what name or amount is given of that cost, in every option that is the same. It is same in this option and here in this option in the other option. The cost that is of the same value in every option. So that is irrelevant. Got it? So the irrelevant costs are those given costs which are. Now you may write this down. They are those costs. Let me repeat, irrelevant costs are those costs that are totally of same value in all the options which are given there. And you could also say like that the cost does not change in any option. Did you get it? What is it? An irrelevant cost is a cost that is not changing. In our example above, which cost is irrelevant? Municipal tax. Why is it irrelevant? Because whether you run your own shop or rent it out, it was the same for the both. Okay. A student questioned whether this is fixed cost. You are deceiving yourself. If fixed cost were irrelevant, I would have written it here. If it were so, I would have written fixed cost. You don't deceive yourself. Don't create your own versions. If it were fixed cost, I would have written it here. If there's a fixed cost, then I would have surely known it. Don't confuse yourself. Calling it fixed cost will cause you to make a mistake. Okay? You call it that cost which is the same. So now that name may be anything. It could be named variable cost. It could be named fixed cost. Don't go by the name. Assume yourself to be an agent of law, and the criminal or the don you are supposed to catch here uses different passports with different names. He moves around the world in several disguises. Okay? You'll only be able to catch him by his actions and not by his name, and neither by his face, but his activities. You know this? There's a show, Family Man. Watched it? Of course you have. Right? The first season of The Family Man was very fantastic. I didn't even realize who the villain was. The whole game was flipped in the end. In that show, the villain is caught not by his name and neither by his face. He is caught due to his actions. His nature doesn't change a bit. It's same everywhere. Got it? Coming to example, municipal taxes are irrelevant. So accordingly, you can remove municipal taxes from the equation and forget that it even exists in the question. Now, mentally fix that you are going down one path, like I explained before. Mentally fix that you are taking one path. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Let's say our own store is opened. So own store is being opened. Students, let us say, own store is being opened. Here, let us say, own store is being opened, or let us assume that you are opening your own store. This option has to be fixed in the mind once. And then keeping that in mind, meaning keeping an eye on it, we will calculate its net relevant cost. Statement showing. I will write net relevant cost here. Okay? Then write off opening own store. What will come after this? Particulars and amount. Here I will create a structure for you. You won't find a structure like this in Institute Mat. I am the one who came up with this structure. If you grasp this structure, every question will become clear. This is nowhere in the Institute Mat. Cost to be incurred for the option means the option that you are going for. And what will be the additional new expense incurred because of going for that option? What will be the additional new expense incurred because of choosing that option means the option for which you are going for now? What will be new expense of opening own store? Will it be nothing? Cost of goods sold. The answer is cost of goods sold. How much is it? 7 lakhs. So mention only the expense incurred separately. Ignore whatever is same in both. It's irrelevant to state municipal tax here. What happens in incremental approach? Even if you consider the municipal tax, it becomes 0. There's no real loss in considering it because it automatically becomes 0. But in this approach, considering it would make calculation wrong. Its only challenge is this. Second, what would be our next step here? So to this we would add benefits lost or opportunity cost of accepting this option means what is the loss incurred due to accepting that option, meaning the option you are thinking of accepting or have already accepted here. So what will be the benefits lost or opportunity cost of accepting the option? What does it mean? Let's discuss about opportunity cost first. Opportunity cost means such an income, although the word here is cost, but here we will refer to it as such an income, which had chances of incoming, but that income didn't come. We will think of that as a loss. Think about it in common language. An income could have come, but it didn't. It would be loss. Is loss debited or credited in TL? We don't do it though. We normally debit such losses. Where do we write cost? Debit or credit? Cost is a debit item. Think of it in that way. Just like cost, loss is also a debit item. In the similar manner, think about the income that could have come, but it didn't. It's profit or loss. Let's assume you are supposed to receive an income. You were told in office that you will be given 1,000 rupees extra if you went to office on a certain day, but you got nothing. What will you say? You will say that you suffered a loss. You didn't get those 1,000 rupees. Okay? If the income that was supposed to come didn't come, what would you say? You would say that you incurred a loss, right? If there is loss, there's a cost. Loss is cost. Both of them have the same nature. Cost is the money that's already spent. Loss is money that didn't come. It is opportunity cost. Therefore, the word cost is in it. But while answering it, the word cost should not be used. Word cost is in definition. It's in the name, and in opportunity cost too, this word is used. But while answering, we say that it's income which didn't come. Okay, now let's get to the proper definition. We define it as income foregone from the next best alternative. Next best alternative. It's income foregone from the next best alternative. While accepting an option means, in the process of pursuing one option, what did we leave behind? What are we giving up if we open a shop? What are we leaving behind or giving up? We're giving up rental income. Now let's say you had 3 or 4 options in total. There were other options. One option was to lease it. Let's say there was an option to take a franchise. Okay. There was also the option to convert it into a paying guest facility. So many different options were there other than turning it into a flower shop. And all of them would have brought varying income to the owner. 2,16,000 are being received in this. And let's say this would have brought income of 2 lakhs per year. Income in this would be 1.5 lakhs. So which option would you go for? Leave this flower shops option aside for a while. Which one is the best out of these 3? We can't do all 3. That space can only be used for any one job. Here we are finding alternatives. If one option exists, other doesn't. Out of these 3, which one should I go for? Should I go for a paying guest or take a franchise? Or lease it out? The option in which I will get most income. So change the definition of opportunity cost again. What will you say? You will say income foregone. From next, best alternative. It means the next best alternative, apart from the one we are going for, and it's the alternative we consider best, besides the one we have chosen. There are many options, so which one is the best? The best one is the one with lease out. It is the one with the highest income. So the highest income is the best alternative. One with the highest income is the best. One with highest income is best. What happened here is that we saw many options in front of us, and that was reduced to only one. I had explained the problem with this approach. What was the limitation of incremental approach? It will not go beyond 2. It means it won't work beyond 2. Did you get it? It won't work beyond 2 options is its limitation. This is its limitation. Let's move to this one here. What do we have in this? All options will work. How will it work? What happens here? It freezes the option you chose. It's doing its work. Besides that, it will go and check out all the other options. One by one, from them, the one that is the best is picked up. Because if you don't choose this option, what else would you choose? You would only choose the next best. You won't consider all. You won't go for PG, franchise or rent. I mean all of them. You will only consider the one that is best. So pick the best one. Here we have only 2 best options. If not this, then second best. Okay. What will we say here? Rental income. That should have been coming in this case is not coming because you opened your own store. As you opened your own store, you lost your rental income. How much is it? It's 2,16,000 rupees. This is the loss incurred. Rental income lost. Also keep this thing in mind. While calculating, don't consider any irrelevant cost for that option here. If the irrelevant cost is given in the entire situation, then we have to ignore it. Any irrelevant cost should be neglected. This system's entire working should happen with relevant cost. Only relevant is included. Irrelevant means costs that remain same. Remove whatever is same. Don't include municipal tax. Remove it. Okay. Basically, what is the expense incurred here? Rupees 7 lakhs is the loss. It's an expense. Income of 2,16,000 also didn't come. We will think of it in terms of cost of 9,16,000 rupees. This is the net relevant cost. The cost that is appearing in the statement is the relevant cost. Heading is statement showing net relevant cost, and this will be compared with the revenue. What revenue are you getting from this option? How much will you get as revenue from this option? From this own store means revenue from the own store 10 lakhs. Expense is 9,16,000 and income is 10 lakhs. Means there's benefit. What is 84,000 in actuality? Are you getting it? That is the incremental profit. This is the net incremental benefit. See this 84, it came before 2. What is the advantage of this approach? What is the advantage of this approach we are learning? Do you know about that advantage? In this approach, no matter how many options are there, out of them, it will compare option you chose to the next best alternative. And the income that you see is actually the incremental income in a way. What is it compared to? The next best, here we are given only 2 options, so it will compare it to only those. But if we had been given other options besides leasing, we would have chosen best one and compared it. This approach compares chosen option with next best. Imagine 2 friends. Take yourself and Prashant. You are both friends. You need to check your performance. You will compare yourself with Prashant. Imagine there are many friends of yours in the class. You will have to do it individually with each. So, you versus Prashant, then you versus Rahul, followed by you versus Monica. You versus Shyam, you versus Ram. So, a huge incremental calculation. It will be very troublesome. When only you and Prashant were there, it was simple. You used incremental. There's only Prashant apart from you. So, comparison is easy. But if there are many friends like Prashant, Ram, Shyam, Hari, Jaddu, and Madhu. So, as many friends as you have, you need to make comparisons with all of them. You will ask for result of each friend. You'll go crazy calculating the incremental here. Opportunity cost approach says to take yourself out of equation. Then pick the best one of them all. Because best out of all the options is the best one. Find the best one out of them all first. Which one is best? It turns out that Hari got highest marks in all subjects. So now you have to compare yourself with the best. This is the thinking behind this approach. If you have the option to own a store or lease it, your own store's profit depends on sale. But let's see the other options. There's leasing, paying guest, franchise. Take the best out of those options and compare that with the one you chose. Put its income here. What happens after you did that? If we are comparing ourselves with best one, so then whatever answer we are getting is the answer between our income versus the best possible income. One which was best otherwise. We are still getting 84 positive. Positive means we will go for it. Positive means benefit. We will write as net incremental benefit is positive. Net incremental benefit is positive. Then the proposal should be, or right here, the proposal of own stores should be accepted. We will say the proposal of own stores should be accepted. Clear? It is clear to you now. Okay? But only as long as class lasts. Then, as you reach home, everything will be hazy. Then you won't be sure if it's clear or not. You become doubtful. To avoid this, start reiterating the main concept taught in every class in your mind as soon as class gets over. Like today's main concept, you need to reiterate it in your mind. In this way, you will have to teach yourself again and revise it. And if you find a junior or a friend who hasn't studied costing yet, then teach it to them as well. It doesn't matter whether they learned it or not. The benefit is if you teach it to them, then you will get more clarity about this concept yourself. So in life, all of you should always learn with an objective to teach it. Mark my words, whenever you learn anything, learn it with the intention to teach it to someone. It changes the way you learn things. The state of mind becomes different. Attention to detail improves. Okay? Don't just think, why are we studying? We shouldn't think like that. For example, let's suppose I have to teach this concept to my father today. How would I teach this to my father so that he gets it? How will I think? When you have to teach it to someone, then the way you pay attention to things will change drastically. You should try doing this. Go and teach the main concepts to someone. Recall to them what you studied in class and do ask questions from them in between. If you will put the question and then you will get the answer, then you will correct the person. Your learnings get strengthened. Okay? You should definitely try this. Let's go. We learned all three approaches in class. This chapter's main focus was the third approach. Clear? Now, whatever scenarios I will give you, you need to proceed by applying the third approach. Relevant costing means the third approach. If you go outside of relevant costing, second one could be applied to. In some cases of relevant costing, we can go for the second approach. All right. What will be the number of points in the notes? All three approaches were taught. This was point number 2. Here give the heading different approaches of evaluation. I repeat, different approaches of evaluation. Give this heading to this point. Okay. It was explained using Prashant's name, but these questions have been asked in the past. Don't think that I made up these examples on the spot. These examples came up in the exam. I didn't invent them. Now I don't know if it will come in the future. I don't have idea about future. Right now, let's not talk about that. Okay? We will talk about learning. This is point number 2. In point 3, I want to explain a few things. Here, I want to officially explain relevant cost and irrelevant cost. I want to explain their complete background in detail. Look here, what is the meaning of this relevant cost? Meaning of relevant cost is the costs that are different, costs that are different in different alternatives. Clear? The costs that are varying, which are different in different alternatives. I will repeat again the costs that are different in different alternatives. They are called relevant cost. Right? The costs that are different in the varying different alternatives. What are they called as? Relevant cost. Did you get it? Now, second point. The costs that can affect any decision. The cost that affects a decision, right? And then note down the cost that changes due to a change in a course of action, the cost that changes when switching from one part to another, or the one that will affect your decision, or the amount that varies in different alternatives. That is relevant. Okay. Did you get it how to identify? In different cases, let's say you need to identify a criminal. How will you do it? And he is living with different changed name and with a different appearance in every country. He is a criminal. And what is he doing? He is taking on different names and different appearances wherever he is going. Something is wrong and suspicious. So you have to pay attention to the one that is changing his appearance. And what is the point of paying attention to someone who is the same everywhere? So generally the trick of identifying here is if it is different, then it is relevant. So let's suppose there is an option 1 given. And option 2, don't remember it by name, okay? The name is cost of goods sold. Here amount is 5 lakh. And here the cost of goods sold is given as 7 lakh. You will say cost of goods sold. It is given in both options. See this here. You don't need to look at the name, but look at the amount. Cost means amount. The name is common, making it relevant. Not possible. We will check for the amount. The cost means amount. So check the amount. Cost means amount. Keep in mind that these are different in different alternatives. This is different. So this is relevant. If the cost of goods sold is 5 lakh in both. So the name is irrelevant. It does not matter here. We studied municipal taxes. It is 5,000 in this option and 6,000 here. It has changed means relevant. Don't focus on name. Here also it is the traveling cost and same here. Electricity bill is common with same amount. So this is irrelevant. If amount is changing, it is relevant. It is all about whether amount is same or not. What's the meaning of cost? Amount, not the name. Cost means the amount. Amount is rupees. Okay. Now in this particular topic in general, what did we study about? We saw that there are so many scenarios and so many decisions are being made all the time in the world. So when we studied a lot of things, then we realized this one point here that these are the following costs that are always relevant. We got some sort of idea that even if we would not focus on that still, we will understand that this is important or relevant for us here. Just by name. You don't need to look at the amount here. You can tell just by looking at the name. The following costs are always relevant. You can note it down. So what are the types of cost here? The first one in list is the variable cost. That cost is to be incurred. I'm writing it in brackets here, to be incurred, which implies that it has not yet been incurred. And you will incur cost is when you are working, otherwise not. Okay, variable cost. Only variable cost, this term can be misleading. So I wrote to be incurred in bracket. If you will focus on only variable cost, you will get stuck in exam. It will be given by the name of variable cost in the exam, and then you will see that its amount is same. If the amount of variable cost is the same, then it becomes irrelevant. We are talking about variable costs that is to be incurred. You will see that it will be written as if we will take this decision, or if we go with this option, then this is the point of variable costs being incurred. Variable costs to be incurred. Second number. Avoidable fixed costs. It is also known by the name committed fixed cost. Sorry, what am I saying? This is discretionary fixed cost, not committed. Discretionary fixed cost. Yes, discretionary fixed cost. It is the same thing, be it avoidable fixed costs or discretionary fixed costs. avoidable fixed costs or discretionary fixed costs. Understood it? So we have variable costs and avoidable fixed costs or discretionary fixed costs. Clear? These are two main costs. What is discretionary fixed cost? This will incur only if you will work or else not. It is same in both cases. It will incur if you work. Like discretion. The meaning of this word discretion is as per our desire, but it is not needed. It can work without it. You can spend if you want or not. So let's take an example not from the perspective of an offer now. Like we are getting a new interior done in SJC or someone wants it done in office. So new interior is a discretionary cost. It is fine even without it. An office can still function without it. Okay, let's move ahead. Now I will tell you guys something very interesting, and this is a recent experience of mine. We all people who are of middle class, people like us. It is not as if I'm incredibly wealthy. We are all common people. Rich person is someone like Ambani or like Mark Zuckerberg. We are nothing in front of them. So, as soon as we acquire monetary wealth, we often feel compelled to show it off. A nice, lavish, clean house. A nice, expensive, luxurious, clean office. It means that even if it is a small office, we make it extraordinary. People will praise and say, "You have made such a beautiful, impressive office." They will put marble tiles at the showpiece in such a small office, only to show it off to the world. You must have seen such office around you too. This is all a game of showing off. Now, it's purely a coincidence that I happened to visit the office room of the CEO of HDFC Bank on one day. The regional head's office of the Axis Bank. I visited it and I saw there is nothing extra in their office. It was very simple. There was just a white wall. Okay. And just the table and chair, the ready-made ones bought from China. Okay. It appeared to be a little simple and sober. It was not something dirty, unclean at all. And there was just one board on the wall with the logo of Axis Bank. Okay. Nothing else. Plain, simple and totally clean. There was one water jar which was kept for drinking water. Okay. And there's space made for sitting for the guests. There is nothing luxurious. Are you getting it? So the question arises, can we work without interior design or not? But the bank is working. They deal with billions of rupees every day. There is no accounting for earnings. And you want to have a dazzling interior in your small office with less income. Even with little money, we show it off. Show off. How you have to think. You are going to become a cost accountant, aren't you? So how will your mind work that will the things function properly without this? If possible, we will work without it. But if we spend money on it, then what's the point? And in profit, people will praise you and they will say, "Wow, Sunil sir, fantastic office." If this is the only thing, don't do it. Axis Bank doesn't need it. HDFC Bank doesn't need it. Airtel doesn't need it. They are such large organizations. They just put up a logo on the board on wall. The wall is white in color. Okay. There is no marble also. Just took that office on lease. And the salary of each of their employees is at least around 6 lakhs to 7 lakhs. It doesn't matter to anyone. There are all the facilities of proper sanitation, proper drinking water. There shouldn't be any problems. What is the purpose of all these lavish things? Just put a logo at the reception. This is our problem. We don't have such a high level mentality. We just think about showing off. Okay. So what are the avoidable fixed costs and discretionary fixed costs? These are some costs that should we implement a new software or not? If the company is going to manage HR in their office, so should they invest in new software and computer or continue using the current register system? Installing the software. Is it necessary? It is not a necessity. It is your choice, the management's choice, and it depends on what they decide to install or not. It could be possible that the work you are doing here for the customer, for any of the special customer, they have a requirement that this will have to be done this way. Then it is needed. Or it may depend on the management's style. We say it's their own style, isn't it? And what do we mean by style? When do you use the word style? We sometimes say he is showing off his style. That means he's trying to flaunt it off, show off to others. Or maybe his way of thinking, his style is like that only, that we want to spend large. The way of working is, for some, they need to be technology oriented. For some, it is, they keep it manual. Okay. So this cost is applicable to such people. Some people also takes benefit from it. Okay, let me explain you with one example. There is a very famous person. There is one digital marketing guy in India. He is maybe from Mumbai or maybe from Gujarat. I am not sure. He is in Mumbai or maybe in some city in Gujarat. So I had received an email from him one day and I read that, do you know what he did? He made money. He earned 3 to 4 crores rupees in 1 year. He earned 4 crore rupees. Do you know what he did with it? He bought Ferrari. Ferrari is of 3 crore. So will the work be done without it? Yes, it will. So he explained the logic behind buying Ferrari car. That's his style, right? So it should be his logic. The logic was that buying a Ferrari would make him well famous. Branding is done. It would take him a lot of time to do that much branding. As soon as he started uploading pictures driving the Ferrari, people said he bought a Ferrari. He spent so much on a car. They all started noticing him as it is owned by a few in India. His name is also included. Now he got newspaper coverage and then bloggers started covering him. People shared my posts on social media. He couldn't do that much branding even in 10 years. So everyone knows him today. He said even though he doesn't have a lavish house compared to the car, but his name is everywhere because he bought Ferrari. So he said he chose to do that. That was his way of branding himself. It's not that I'm that wealthy or well-known person like the other well-known person, but I still chose to buy a Ferrari. So what is this discretionary? Was it necessary? No, but you spent the money. So why did you spend? What is the reason benefit? You can do it if you think it is logical. Sometimes there is a requirement. Sometimes it is management style. Okay. Spending on software innovation, spending on research, but research is not something necessary. You can work without it, but if you do research and discover something new, you will be far ahead than your competitors. If it has some benefit, then. And the third relevant cost, which we have always seen, is the opportunity cost. Okay. Which I have already explained earlier. With these three given categories of cost, all the relevant costs are covered. We will talk about opportunity cost in detail later in some lecture, but for now that is all. With these three costs, all of the cost is covered. The three main costs cover the whole of it. Got it? Variable cost, avoidable fixed cost, opportunity cost. Did you get it? Fourth, what is next topic? It is the meaning of irrelevant cost, so we will write it down. The meaning of irrelevant cost. So this is our next topic here. The costs that are same in all the given alternatives. Note it down. That are the same in all the alternatives. Whatever the alternatives are given, the cost is same in that. Okay? Cost is same. That are the same in all the alternatives. Note it down. Got it? And the cost that do not alter or do not change in any of the alternative, or we can say due to change in alternative. I will repeat the cost that is not changed due to a change in alternative. Okay. Incremental amount of this cost is always zero. So let me tell you here. This is the main way to identify it. This amount. It is coming incrementally zero here of this cost. You should keep this in mind that the incremental amount of this cost here is always zero. Clear? What did I say? The incremental amount of this cost is always zero. Next. In general, the following costs. You may write down these points. Are always irrelevant. Let me repeat, in general, the following costs are always irrelevant. Okay. So, number 1, sunk cost. So let me tell you, another name for sunk cost is historical cost. Or you can say past cost. You know what? In general, the following costs are always irrelevant. Okay. Sunk cost, historical cost, or past cost. Okay. So sunk costs are those costs which are spent. I always teach you like one that has already been spent. That will not come back. Okay, guys. When was it incurred? It was already incurred before taking decision. So it was already incurred before the making point. It was applied before the point. The one that was applied before the decision making point, which is spent and which will not come back. And this is that cost which comes before decision making point, already incurred. Okay. So there is a saying, right, that why to dig up the dead past. Have you heard this? Let go of the past. They all are sunk. Right? Let's say you have to decide of coming in class. If you need to decide. So the fees have paid to me will be wasted. Okay, so that fees won't come back to you. Okay. So coming tomorrow or not? So to think about it, you shouldn't have to think about this. Okay. My fees have been paid. Think an example. CMA Institute. Fees have been paid. Interpass. What's matter with finals? So to make the decision for the final year, they will think of the expense they will spend in final year studies. Or they will think of doing their finals no matter what. I have spent a lot in Inter. Interesting thing is, many people think this way. He thinks it's necessary to do finals because he has spent a lot in Inter. That's wrong. What is the important way of thinking always? We need to think fast and quickly. Think in a relevant way. What's the way of thinking? Think of future. Means that think of future. Don't think about the past. Okay, so if you see your dad anywhere, don't ask that. They won't remember. When we were in school, they used to take us picnics sometimes. He used to say deposit 200 rupees or 500. So as soon as I would ask my dad for 500 rupees, then there comes the decision making point. Decision making point means whether to give or not to give. So there's two options. This means I am not trying to say both the options are good, but whenever you have two options, one become of doing it, another for not. Whether to open a store or not, rent's option is not always there. There are always two options, to give or not to give. So my father used to look into accounts and he would tell me, you were given this much money last year. The year before that, you were given this much money. The year before, this much money. They used to keep a complete account. So we couldn't understand why he is saying this. I said, then go further back. And since the hospital show me the account. What about their account? He's like, we have that also, but look at 3 years for now. But what's the benefit of remembering that? Tell me your future cost will still gonna be 300. Why to think so much on that 300 rupees that are already been spent? It won't change anything, right? Just think about of what will gonna change, what will do. So the thing that won't be able to change or was in the past, which means like you send someone on a picnic, well, that money of yours will come back to you. It's not like it will cost more. Even if we don't sell it, it will cost that much. Even if we sell it, what's gone is gone. It will remain same. The logic of sunk cost being irrelevant is that I have two options. Should they send me on a picnic or not? If they don't send me, past cost that has spent will remain same. If they send me, the past cost is already incurred. It won't increase. It's already been spent. So the issue is about the future cost. The issue is only about 300, whether you have to pay it or not. So the past is gone. What's the point of thinking about it? So at that time, we were not that smart to explain about it to them. Okay, but now it makes sense about how to think for your children. At that time, even we were not smart enough to tell them this. We haven't studied questions that comes now in class 9-10 level. But we are now very clear about this, that if in future we have to talk to our children about this, so we shouldn't waste time and should come to the final decision that do we need to pay him 300 or not? Right? What can we do by thinking about the past? Second number, committed fixed cost. Another name for this is unavoidable fixed cost. What is this? What are committed and unavoidable fixed costs? This is that cost which has not spent yet. It's not past. It's not past. Will come in future. But everything will remain same whether you go in this or that. It's not applied. Come in future. It has been spent in past. Okay, it won't come back. What is this? It's the future cost. Future cost. It has not been incurred yet, but it will soon gonna be incurred. Okay, guys, get it? In same amount. In every options. In all the options. So it is a future cost, but it will be incurred in the same amount. Getting it, guys? In all of the options. Okay, so committed cost is the cost that not been incurred yet, but will be incurred. However, it will be incurred in the same amount for all the options. Now, like the example of the municipal tax, we declared it irrelevant. What do you think it was a sunk or committed cost? It was committed. It was not sunk. Was the municipal tax sunk or committed? How will it come in both? I said it will apply per annum. It means it's a future cost, right? Municipal tax will apply, government will charge every year. But just once. Okay, the money that was spent in buying the shop. Told you shop has been given to him in heritage. Or he inherited it. The money that has already been spent. What is that? That is a sunk. That's not future, that's past. Sunk means past. There is cost that will incurred. So in my case, my father would start talking. How much did I give? See the last year, the year before last. Then he started talking about something else. It doesn't cost 300. He used to say, now I will also have to pay school fees. I also have to pay your tuition fees. I didn't take tuition. This is just an example. Pay for tuitions. I have to pay for households. So all I am saying that to give is a good thing. For good future will pay. But if we won't go on a picnic, won't we give then? Do you understand? So you are taking up a past cost. Something that does not exist and will not change even if I don't go to the picnic. You are also incurring a cost that won't change whether or not I go on the picnic. That is for the future. It hasn't been given yet, but it needs to be given. But that is, both of these options are same. So the problem is only for 300 right now. So come to a point whether to give it or not. However, my father will never raise that point. What he will do? Bring the past. They will bring the future cost that will have to pay for anyway. Or when we are not convinced, we don't understand, we are being stubborn. So in that, they had a Brahmastra. He used to say, ask your uncle. If they say, then we'll give. So you've been stuck in this case. Now you have to convince your uncle. If uncle is convinced uncle gave the permission, then he tried to stuck me. Then again, he used to say that do one thing. Ask your brother. Okay, let's do one thing. Both of us go together to the aunt's place. I said, this is a big deal now. We won't go to picnic. That's what I wanted. You should have said that directly if you wanted that. We need to be quick. Okay. It was good our father would give us time for this reason. So, you know what? It's their way of giving us time. But what I'm trying to say, at home, your family functions differently. Time is consumed there, it's fine. If you spend much time thinking about in business, your competitor will take your market away from you. You have to be really fast. So if you can't make fast decisions, the year is gone. Did you understand the accounting? It's interesting. And for you, it doesn't feel like you are reading any book. Indirectly, you are reading. And the stories which they are telling you is for. Actually, you just need to recall that if you remember the story, then you will remember all the things. So you will naturally understand it. Okay. So the story of relevant and irrelevant things comes to an end here. The next day, so if you can do one thing, then is we have temporarily who haven't got met. Okay. We have a Telegram group of one chapter. Given the notes, you have to attempt question number 1 and bring it. Okay? You just have to attempt. You will have to write down some answers. You can't just leave it blank and be okay. So you only have to choose whether this cost is committed or discretionary. This is just a 5-10 minute homework. Like this, you will be able to recapitulate. So just revise like we used to revise accounts. Firstly, the golden rules and then the general content. So understand what you have been taught so far. There are 3 approaches. And also the detailed meaning of relevant and irrelevant with as many examples as possible. The golden rule of this chapter. And future chapters will be built upon this base. The questions that are coming up in the scene, that question will be built on this. Okay? About this which we have studied before, and we will have a deep and serious discussion on the topic opportunity cost. We'll go a little deeper into that. Everything else is done. Once we will study about opportunity cost, the golden rule will be clear. After that, hardcore. So we will have to involve into decision making process. So it will only be clear to you guys when you understand everything that was taught to you guys today. Try to learn naturally. Then you won't ever forget it. We won't forget. Okay. Before going further, having a thought. Do some thinking on this. Whether it's right or not. Okay. Do some brainstorming on this. I am not asking for an immediate answer right now. Just think and come. All irrelevant costs are called the sunk cost. Okay. Think like true or false. So all the sunk costs they are irrelevant. All past cost are sunk cost. So all the future costs are relevant. Okay. See, I am telling you a story, but what happens is when we listen to a story, we feel sleepy. So you were awake or not, we'll know that tomorrow. Revision is very important. You should remember the story. It shouldn't be like you forget the story after hearing it. So if possible, please note down the story which I am telling you guys in your notes. This will help you remember the concept quickly. In sunk and committed cost, the teacher took his father as example. Explained with example. Okay, I also gave other examples too. You can write down the keywords for those examples, like I gave you an example of interior. Yes, it also gives a life message, like you can see Axis Bank working without an interior. Airtel is running without interior, and we have small CA firms, CMA firms with huge interior. So they all are growing that much in general also. People don't think of moving to a new office after spending a lot. Stuck psychologically. So Axis Bank and all, they didn't spend much, they just shift like this only. Nothing is wrong. So only paint has to be done just with the chairs and tables, that's it. They move quickly. And the man who spends more gets stuck there. Understand that sometimes in life, you can spend limited money, which means progress is going to happen. Because if you spend a lot there, you'll get stuck there for a long time. You will not able to leave. Right? So think about this and bring your answers. Write your answers as yes or no and provide reason for each. Why do you think? It's not necessary to write in English. You can write in your language. You can write whatever you think is correct according to you. So we will discuss it tomorrow. First question, PDF is provided for those who didn't got the mat. You will capture from that PDF. Okay. So take a printout of the PDF of the question answer, or you can write the solution to the question number on it here. Okay. Please update today's index. Go to the index and make sure it includes these 4 topics. Index shouldn't only contain relevant costs. Covered 4 points in relevant costing. All 4 points will come. The first point, applicability. The second point was about different approaches. Third point, relevant cost meaning. The fourth point, irrelevant cost meaning. You should include all 4 points in your notes index. Okay. Okay, bye, see you. See you again tomorrow. Thank you. Tomorrow means next class.